This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so hope you are able to hear me clearly. Just let me know if you are getting the background noise. I'll connect my headset. Okay, it's clear, right?
Yeah, it's clear, sir.
Okay, thank you. And sorry, guys, on Friday I could not be able to make the session because I was taking one interview. Okay,
No,
so I just forgot completely about that. That's the problem. Otherwise, I should be able to inform to you guys. The microphone. Okay, so where we have stopped. So here I can see like Lavanya and another one is I think Suresh. Okay, so now can you just confirm to me like what we have discussed in the last week? Where we
creating
stopped?
instance,
Mhm.
launching an instance.
Okay, then after that, so we have not talked about volumes or any
No,
other thing.
not yet, sir.
Nothing. Okay. Okay. So today we'll talk about volumes and all other stuff. Okay. So as of now, you guys is having an idea about how to launch an instance, right? So when you're trying to launch an instance is basically like your virtual machine, but in the cloud environment, we'll call it as an instance. So I think you don't have any issues how to launch an instance. Just let me know if you have any issues. Okay, I'm going to start one of my server name called Ansible Master. So you can name it anything. So I'm going to start this mission. And this is the place where you can see once you selected this mission, how to stop the server, how to start the server, how to reboot the server, how to terminate it, everything we can see. Currently, I'm just starting my mission. So it is showing earlier it was stopped. Now it's coming under pending state. So it's starting now. Okay, I think someone else is also joined. Suresh. Okay, I think currently we have two different Suresh in our system, in our session. One second, guys. I'm just starting one of my existing mission. So Suresh, like, do you have any questions about how to launch the server, how to start the server?
Yeah, nothing. I'm fine.
Thank you. Okay, so since you guys are clear about how to launch an instance, so I'm going to start one of my existing mission. So I've already done that. Here, I'll be able to find that mission IP address. So this is the place to get in a public IP address. So I'm going to communicate that particular server. Okay, so creating an instance to communicate the instance. I think no questions, like what is key pair and all of the stuff.
Yes.
So those cases, so I'm going to communicate one of my server. Username was, I think it was EC2-user. Let me give it a try. Okay, so this user, what is the username? I kept it. Key name is Ansible. The server was in a Red Hat or Ubuntu. I think it was on a Ubuntu. So this is one of the Ubuntu machine basically. Yeah, this is the Ubuntu server. So I just connected. Okay. So as you know, like in a few things will may get difference from OS to OS. That's it. So in this mission, whatever we have, so the basic one, we have so many disks, it is having loops. But everything was same. Only XPDA we have. Right? Okay, let me continue this. Now, before we get into this, so do you understand what is reserved, what is dedicated? I think I have not covered. Okay, so guys, Lavanya, when you're launching anything, even yesterday, I mean, like our previous class, we have launched the server. So how you have launched that you know, but the concern is here what I'm trying to say. You have not informed to anyone. There is no prior communication to anyone as of now. Okay, since you are able to launch the server, that we'll call it as a on-demand instance. Understand that, everyone?
Yes.
Right? So if you are not informing to everyone, so you are launching an instance, that it will call it as a on-demand instance, right? So you are not paying any money to anyone. So you're not paying any money to anyone and you have not informed to anyone. You have not requested to anyone to get it approved. Okay. But still you are able to get an instance. That we'll call it as a on-demand instance. Then what is the other meaning for any questions on demand by any chance? Anybody? I think it's everyone is clear, right?
Yes.
Then after that, there is another instance types we have reserved instances. What is the general meaning for reserved?
Yeah, we will be reserving some of the instances.
Okay,
Future
so in general meaning, we are going to reserve something for the future purpose, right? So I'm going to reserve something. So when it comes to reserved instances, basically, so in future, what you required, you are going to reserve. Let's suppose in instances, when I'm running some missions right now, like in a 5 missions or 10 missions, in future, I'm completely aware of it, how many number of instances I may require. Currently, I'm running with one server, but in future, I may need 10 instances or 20 instances. So those cases, what we'll do? We'll go ahead and we'll launch those many instances, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So if you launch something in on demand, obviously on demand instance is high charges when it compares to any other product. Got it? Like we have a reserved instances, scheduled instances and all other stuff. It will take some charges. It's some additional charges. But on demand, it's high charges when it's compared to anything. Okay. Rest of all, it will be in a less charges. Okay, we'll try to understand that now slowly. Now, when it go for the reserved instances, what it means? You are going to reserve something for the future purpose. Okay, so you may not going to use that particular product immediately, but you are going to use that in a later part. But you are going to inform to Amazon in advance. I need this many instances during this particular period of time. That is the reason Amazon is going to give some discount on those things. We'll see that reserved instances. Hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is the place. So on demand means when you launch these instances, you'll pay by the hour. I mean, you'll be charged only for the number of hours you have been utilized. Coming to the reserved, you can purchase these instances at a considerable discount of and you can deploy them for 1 month to 3 years. So the time period which you can decide. You may need these instances in a year or 3 years. And another one which we had, scheduled instances. These are always available for 1 year time period and as per the specific recurring schedule. So when you don't require the servers in a 24 hours in a day, but you need those things in a specific time in a day, maybe in evening 5 to 10 or evening 3 to 5, some additional instances. Those cases will go for scheduled instances. The best example is if you launch any server and you're continuously running that an entire month, every month we have 740 plus hours, right? Because every day we have a 24 hours, 24 into 30 days at least, 600, 4 into 30, 120, 720 hours. When there is a 31 days in a month, 744 hours it will come, right? So when you have an instance, but where you need one additional instances, in these cases, normally what you will do, you will go ahead and you launch one more instance, correct? But when you launch one more instance, what will happen? You will be charged 24 hours in a day, correct? Instead of that, if you go as per the scheduled instances, what will happen? Schedule in the sense like you take it as an example as a banking. So the working hours will be 8 hours in a day. Those cases, they don't require the servers to be run at almost 24 hours in a day. They are okay to launch the servers only 8 hours in a day. Yes sir, no guys, Lavanya, please try
Yes,
to
sir. Yes, sir.
respond sometime.
Yeah.
Okay, so those cases, what will happen? 8 hours in a day, 30 days, 240 hours. So instead of paying 740 hours, you will be ending up with only 240 hours. Are you happy now? So your charges has come down to 740 hours to 240 hours. Right?
Yeah, Chandra.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, for 8 hours in the sense for the business hours you are talking about.
Yes, yes. See, when you launch any server, you have to run 24 hours in a day. But what I'm trying to say, hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say if you launch one server and you keep it running for 24 hours in a day, those cases you'll be ending up 744 hours in a month, right? Instead of that, if you keep the servers to be up and running only for business hours, like 8 hours, correct?
Okay.
Those cases, what will happen? Your number of hours of the building, it will come down to only 244 hours. Agreed?
Okay.
Now, instead of that, I may need this instance only 2 hours in a day or 3 hours in a day. Those cases, at least 4 hours, just an example. So instead of 240 hours, your billing will come down to 120 hours. So customer will be happy in this case now,
Yes.
right? So instead of 740 hours, you are going to end up with only 140 hours or 120 hours exactly. That kind of product it is. And another one is spot instances. These are the unused instances on which you bid. So you can launch them as long as they are available. So spot instances are affordable if you are flexible about the timings to run your applications. When you're completely using a kind of test environment, not in a production kind of stuff. So, but if you wanted to do something, the kind of testing part, right? So to run some testing applications, you can do this. What Amazon is saying, wherever Amazon is having so many availability zones, right? So in that availability zone, Amazon is saying whatever you requested will make it as an on demand. It means obviously they have to keep so many servers to be available as an upfront when you requested. So they have some unused resources with them currently. So if you would like to test anything, you're not running your business, those cases we can go ahead and use the spot instances. But it is not recommended to run any business applications apart from the testing. It's only for the test cases because it's a kind of bidding process. Amazon will quote very, very less price. Let's suppose 10 rupees. So you have to quote more than that, like 11 rupees, 12 rupees kind of stuff. So when you quoted more, you'll get that instance. Obviously, when someone has been quoted to you more than that, if Amazon don't have any free instances, then they will immediately terminate the instance from you and they will assign this instance to someone else. Okay, that kind of product it is. I'll show you the difference how to buy it. So you have to go into this. First section, you have to be in the region. Now here, I have an option called reserved instances. So reserved instances, purchase reserved instances. So here you have to select the platform of the operating system, like which operating system you require. You have many things, right? Which one you require. And tenancy is the default and dedicated. Dedicated, don't go with dedicated any point of time when you're testing something, because that will be dedicated only for you. Just go with the default. It is in a shared model. An instance type. What type of instance you require?
T2 micro.
Okay, T2 micro is in a free instance, so you can use it. I'm going to select T2 medium. It will be chargeable because we have to check the charges now, right? T2
Okay.
micro is completely get as a free. So I'm going to this. Now, term. How many number of months you need this product? So I'm going to select, we have here we may get two options. One is 1 month to 12 months and another one is 12 months to 36 months, like 3 years. Okay. So initially we'll go with a 1 month product, 1 month to 12 months. Then payment option, here we have no upfront. Okay. No upfront, partial upfront or all upfront. No upfront in the sense, you no need to pay anything right now. You no need to pay anything as an upfront now, but you have to give the prior notification. You're just trying to give a prior notification to the AWS. Right? So let's see how it can be done. I'm going with no upfront. Now offering class, there are two options. I'm going with convertible now. So you understand now?
Yeah.
So here there is one option, you'll get it if you selected this. So you are getting an option availability zone also. But if you skip this, in this region, wherever you would like, it will come automatically. So if you are specific, I need this in a particular availability zone, go into this, select the availability zone, which availability zone you require, you just select it and start search. So when you do that, so you are getting this product for next 12 months. The effective rate is 0.00 and there is no upfront right now because you have selected no upfront. The hourly will be same. So you don't need to pay anything right now, but in future, how many number of hours you are going to use this product, you have to pay same amount of money into $0.033. Is that clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? So into how many number of hours you run it. Then after that, there is another option called partial upfront. So when you feel I have some money with me right now, anyway, I need this product for next some years, like 3 years or 1 year, those cases I'll go and buy this product, right? So in that particular case, I have to select partial upfront, then start searching. Earlier there is no upfront. Now I'm going to start this product, search this product now. Okay. So when you selected that, earlier there is no upfront price, but now it's coming under $138. Have you seen the difference?
Sir.
And apart from that, the effective price has come down to 0.0032031 because you took some commitment, you're going to pay something in advance. Okay, then you're not paying it completely, you're paying something as an advance. Then after that, right? Then after that, you have to pay the number of hours you have been utilized. This is only for the advance. Then after that, how many number of hours you are going to use in future, that you have to pay. Got it? So now guys, so
Yes.
0.016 into the actual number of hours you have to pay. Hope it's clear for you now.
If we don't pay anything, then there is no hourly rate.
Yes, if you're not paying anything, that comes under no upfront. So in this case, you no need to pay anything. Your hourly price will be 0.033, but how many number of hours you have been utilized, that you have to pay. Let's suppose in an entire month you have been utilized only 2 hours, you'll be responsible for that. Okay?
Okay.
But if you have not utilized, you no need to pay anything. It's clear now?
Yeah, but
So
why
only thing,
hourly rate is
hourly
higher?
rate is same. Hourly rate, something should be there because you're not paying anything in advance to me. So obviously you have to pay if you used.
Okay. Comparatively, it is higher than if you pay a partial amount as an advance.
See, when you pay something as a partial amount, you get,
0.033,
so instead of that, it will come out.
0.016.
So it is a less price, not more.
Yeah.
Okay. So you are getting some discount. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after that, there is another option called all upfront. Right here you can see hourly rate is 0.16. But when you go in and upfront is 138. But in this case, if you go with an all upfront, what it means, I need this product for next 1 year. That is for mandatory that I know.
0.
Right? So those cases, when I have to pay $270 is the entire year payment. Right? So I no need to pay anything in advance. Sorry, I no need to pay anything in the hourly basis in future because I'm paying everything in a upfront.
Yeah.
Clear now?
Yes, sir.
That's how it is. So now I'm paying $270. So whether I have been utilized or not in future, there is no concern. I have to pay $270. Okay. So hope it's clear. Like what is upfront, what is no upfront, what is all upfront.
Yeah.
Apart from that, here there is one more tricky kind of option here. If you selected as an option called standard, that is what we have selected as of now. Let's see, I'll show standard, what will happen. In a standard, how you are getting it? If it is in a partial upfront, how much you are getting it? $120. If you go with an all upfront, you are getting $235 for 1 year. For 3 years, I'm checking 230 into 3. How much it will come? 630 into 3, 900. Sorry, 90. So 690, almost 700 has to become. But here, what happened? It's coming under 458 only. Instead of 700 nearby, it's coming under 460. So rest of all you're getting as a discount when you go with the longer term. Okay. But there is one more option here. Once you have committed for this $458 and you just started using the product, but after some years, maybe in a year, maybe 1.5 years, you decided you don't need this product anymore in future, right? Those cases, what will happen? So the 10 year which you bought it for 3 years, okay? Then once you started working on those things, then after that you realized, okay, I don't need this product anymore in future. So what you will do?
So the remaining hours will not be charged.
That is okay, but when you go with an all upfront, when you go with an no upfront or partial upfront, that's okay. You can leave the money. But when you go with all upfront,
They may
it
refund.
means no. Understand now? They won't give you anything back to you if it is in a standard option. That's why what Amazon has made in a different option that is called a convertible option. Okay, so instead of standard, there is another option called convertible. Here you are paying 458, right? Instead of that, if you go with a convertible, you have to pay $550. So you have to pay little bit extra compared to the other service. Okay. But what you are getting in addition to here, you are paying $70 extra. But what is the additional feature which you are getting it? It means you are getting the feature what you are expected right now, because Amazon won't give you anything back if it is in a standard. Even it is a convertible also, Amazon won't give you anything back, but they're giving an option for you to adjust that money, adjust those charges if you went in a convertible option. I mean, on a pro rata basis, after 1.5 year, whatever you talk about, like 1 year, after those many number of days, the balance amount will be adjusted for you in upcoming billing. Clear now?
Yeah.
Let's suppose after 1.5 year, you have already paid for $250. So $125 will be adjusted in your existing billing, and coming to the other thing, the balance it will be adjusted in your billing, the next billing. Okay, clear now?
Yes, sir.
So hope you understand what is reserved now, what is standard and convertible. Okay. So any other questions on this? Here, don't try to buy anything, guys. Just see the product and leave it. If you buy it, these charges will come to your account. Chalo. Okay, let's move on to the other product called instances. After reserved, there is an option called scheduled instances.
Yeah, Chandra.
Yes, please.
Yeah, on demanding, we are going to create instances, right, as part of our project requirement.
Can
So,
you just speak a bit louder? I can't understand what you're
yeah,
explaining.
as part of project requirement, on demanding also can able to create instances, right?
Oh, yes, see, all the options will be there. You no need to go only a specific option which you decided. Okay, you are
Okay.
going to launch an instance. What instance you have to buy? Whether you have something is already in a reserved mode, then you will be charged as per the reserved. When you don't have anything, it means you no need to stick for those things. You can directly go ahead and buy it. That comes under on demand.
So the price may vary on demand versus reserve.
And it is very hard to hear you and understand. Can you just make your internet issue and speak out? I can't understand actually when you're speaking.
Actually, some bandwidth issue today. I couldn't able to speak.
No problem. If you try to put something in the message, maybe I'll try to understand that. If you can do that, can we try that?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So this is for scheduled instances. What it means when you need any instances in a specific date and time. Okay. Let's suppose today is Monday, but I don't need anything today. I might need in future. Those cases you can select the date on which date you required. Right. Then 6 p.m. or if you need in a 8 p.m. Right. From that moment, how many number of hours you required? Next, additional 2 hours or 4 hours, whatever it is. Whether you need it as a daily, a weekly, a monthly, which you have to select here. Okay, clear now? However you want, you can buy it. Similarly, there is a dedicated host. Dedicated host, it means the product will be completely dedicated for you. It is a physical mission, not a virtual. Then rest of all is same. Any other questions, guys? Okay, so if you want, just take a small break for 5 minutes. I'll continue again. Okay, we'll continue for another 30 minutes at least. Just
Okay.
take a small break for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
ఈ ల్యాప్టాప్ దగ్గరకు వచ్చాడు.
Hi, can we continue now? Hi, Lavanya, Suresh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm back.
can we continue now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, thank you. So now, so similarly, we have all other instances like spot request and all. Spot request basically it's bidding process, as you know. So I'm going ahead to another option.
తీసుకెళ్ళిపోండి.
So now I think you understand spot and everything. I'm going to skip it now. So once you have launched any server, what are the other modifications you can do it? I mean, other operations you can perform. Let's see here, the instance I think which we have already connected, right? Maybe this network issue is good. Disconnected. I'm going to select for duplicate session at least. Yeah. Okay, it's got expired. So I've connected one more. The username is Ubuntu. And as you know, it doesn't require any password. This is an active session.
So, but when we're going to request for spot instances, there are different options, and AMI it is showing.
I'll show you where I'll show you that operations.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, let me tell you, because I want to talk to you first. Volume, use based on the value, you'll create a snapshot. Based on the create, you'll create, based on the instance, we'll create an AMI.
Okay. You just said that spot and dedicated, these all are same. That's why I just asked.
No problem, no problem. I'll try to clear it. Chala. So now this is the instance once you have launched. Okay. So what you can do it after that. Generally, when you need some space, why we create an instance? Is there any operations is going to be happen in your mission that has to be stored somewhere? Correct? For that, we need some file systems. If you see in this mission, basically, when you run, there is a command called df-h. So it will list some file systems. These are related to the basic system related file systems. But after that, when you are going to create some space, based on that, you are going to create some volumes. And those volumes, you are going to store some data. Okay, now let's see here. So PVs, I'm not getting any output right now. But when I go in fdisk-l, I have one disk right now, that is XVDA. So within that, I have some space. So now I'm going to create one more value. Let's see how to create a value. Value, we'll call it as a hard disk basically to store some data. When it comes to in a storage, hope you know, right? Amazon has mentioned that it's an unlimited storage. So whenever you need anything, you don't need to talk to anyone and you don't need to request anyone. You will be able to get so much of data. I mean, how much data you require. That basically we'll call it as a technically on demand. Okay. If you have any questions, you can stop me anytime, guys. Okay. Now, so to creating a values, I think I've already explained few things basically. Okay, let's see. This is my server. Within this server, I'm going to create 10 GB each. There is 3 values. right? So this is the one I can create and I can map it. But in this case, there is only one condition. Now this is one availability zone and this is one more availability zone. So you can't map the volumes from here to here or anything. So within that you have any instance, you are allowed to map. Here also you have any instance, you are allowed to map. Is that clear now? I'm trying to say from US East 1A availability zone, you can't map the instance which is running on US East 1B. Okay, let me create a value if you have any questions. Just go ahead and create a value. Here I'm trying to create a value with 1 GB. Now my instance where it is running. Let me go back. I have not noticed that. Because there is a condition. You should know where your instance is running and you have to launch an instance in the same location. Then only it will be helpful for you. So instances. Your instance is running on US East 1B here, if you see. Now, when you talk about values, create a value. Here you have to select availability zone like 1B. Then after that, scroll down, create a value. Now you have created one value with 1 GB. As soon as you created any value, that will not have any attachment information is the first thing you can say. And the value it shows as a available state. Is this, I mean, these two things are clear now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it will be an available status, right? So that means this particular value has not been associated to any instance as of now. From now, I'm going to select that actions, then attach value. When you try to attach a value, here it shows the location US East 1B. So in this location, how many servers are there? That only it will list. If you see in my console, I have almost 8 to 9 instances, at least more than 4. But I'll be able to see only 4 instances here.
Ansible.
I can see only 4, but in the background I have 8. Correct? Please respond, guys.
Yes, sir.
What will
Yes.
happen for you? Okay, so I'll be able to get only 4 instances because here it is work based on the location. In my location 1B, I have only 4 instances. Rest of all running with other locations. That's why. Now I can see my server called Ansible master. I've selected that. Here it shows XVDF in the server. I think here we have XVDA right now. The another one will get it XVDF. That's what it's showing. So I'm going to attach. This is 1 GB value now. So as soon as you attach the server level, just using an XVDF, I think it was an issue. I'll fix soon, but let me continue this now. Now there is a command called fdisk-l. If you run it, as I mentioned, XVDF 1 GB it's showing now, right? What you have to do in Linux especially, we have to create a value using this particular value, which we got it. I mean, internally again we have to create because Amazon is an open source product. Sorry, Linux is an open source product. What they mentioned here, if you required using 1 GB, again you can split as a 2 disks. Like on a 512 GB, you can create a 2 value. Let's assume you got 100 GB value. So what you can do? You can create 10 GB into 10, right? That also you can do.
Okay.
So, or you can use the all 100 GB also same as it is.
That means 10 disks, sir.
No, you got 100 GB one disk as a single disk. So
Okay.
after that, how you want to utilize that space? If you want to use 100 GB as a single disk, yes, you can do that. Or same 100 GB disk, I wanted to split as a 50 GB into 2 or 10 GB into 10, like that. That's up to you. But mostly in the organization, they will go with the actual size. They won't split it. So those cases, what we have to do, we have to run a command called pv create. Okay, we already did it. Then after that, there is a command called pvs. When you run it, here it shows 1 GB. Then after that, you need one more disk with 2 GB. What you will do? You have to select same. It is running on 1B. Then you can create as a 2 GB. So as soon as you created, select this actions, attach value, select the same server, then attach it. It's showing like XVDF through XVDP. So as soon as you did it, just connect the server and run the command called fdisk-l again. Earlier you have seen XVDF, right? This time you will be able to XVDG. It comes under 2 GB, right? But when you run a command called pvs, it shows only 1 GB as of, one server, one volume is only. So what you have to do, another volume we have not created as a PV as of now. So I just did it. That's why when I run pvs command, here I'll be able to see both outputs now, like 2 outputs. Hope it's clear up to here.
Yes, sir. This is all we are creating inside that 8 GB, right, sir?
No, we are adding additional volumes. We are adding additional volumes, not the existing one.
Oh, okay.
Class చెప్తున్నాను, wait. We are adding additional volumes, not the existing one. 8 GB we already have in the top.
Yeah.
That we are not disturbing because that is running on OS, right?
Okay.
In addition to that, we are creating some volumes. That is like 1 GB volume and 2 GB volume. Okay. The total number of PVs are 3 now. Apart from the root VG, we have a 2. Okay. Now, whenever you need an additional space, let's assume you created 2 volumes with 2 different sizes. Then after that, still if you need additional space, what you will do? Again, you have to create one more volume.
Okay.
Are you getting my point or not? Just let me know.
Yes, sir.
I think no. Because we have less team in the session, guys. So at least you should be clear what we are talking about. I'm saying you should respond to me or you should ask the questions. Otherwise, I can't guess whether you understand or not.
Okay, sir.
Try to keep that in mind. Okay. What I'm trying to say, you have created a volume with 8 GB that was done to store the OS. Then after that, if you need some space, what you will do? You are going to request additional space. Correct? So whenever anyone has requested some additional space, you have to create a volume, right? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So I have created a volume with 1 GB in the beginning. Then after that, my application team has requested for me to create an additional space. So I've created with 2 GB. So totally, I have 2 disks now other than my root VC, like 1 GB one and another one is 2 GB. So 1 and 2. Clear now?
Okay, sir.
Then again, if they requested some space, what you will do,
Again, we have to create one more.
right? Like this, we will create. So in this case, what will happen in the background? You will be getting more number of volumes in the
Yes.
server, right? So whenever they requested some space, it is keep on increasing.
And it is unlimited. We can increase
It's
as
unlimited.
many as
It is
we want.
unlimited.
Yeah.
I understand. So
Yeah.
actually, my concern is here. The number of disks count is going to be increased, right? When you're increasing, creating like in a 2 GB, 3 GB kind of stuff, obviously count it will get increased, right? The server in the server, the volumes count it will get increased. Yes or
Okay.
no, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
So I don't want to increase my volumes count, because if we do that, so if I want to add an 1,000 volumes, right? Like 1 terabyte, every time I'm creating one value, what will happen? The count, it will reach up to 1,000. So I don't want to increase the count like that. Okay. So what they are saying, what Amazon is saying, you are allowed to increase one of the existing volumes instead of creating any values.
Okay.
That is what I'm trying to explain. Let's
Mm.
suppose here we have a 2 GB value that I want to explain more, like in a 5 GB. Those cases, what you have to do, select the value, actions. You can go ahead and modify value. You are allowed to increase the value, but not to decrease it. Okay. So what you have to do? You can increase, not to decrease. Selected that, modify, yes, was done. Okay. As soon as you made this, just try to refresh the screen. So instead of 2 GB, you're able to see 5 GB now.
Right.
Clear now?
Yes, sir.
But when you come back to the server, sorry, I have some network issues, I guess. Ubuntu. Here, sudo. Here, when you run a command called pvs, still I'm able to see only 2 GB, not 5 GB.
Mm.
But when I go into the actual server, I think I got. One second. Let me remove this. Here, if you see, once I've connected, sudo, when I run a command called pvs, here still I'm able to see 2 GB, not 5 GB, right?
Mm.
But when I run a command called fdisk-l, so instead of 2 GB, I'll be able to see 5 GB. What you have to do now, you have to do a resize of the volume.
From 2 to 5.
Okay. Yeah, PV resize. You just need to run PV resize. You don't need to give any size and all. Just give the volume name. What will happen? This 2 GB will become a 5 GB. To do this, it's an online activity. You don't need to take any downtime or anything. You can do it on a live. So this concept has been introduced in the market from 2017 onwards.
Okay.
Okay, clear now?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This will call it as a live volume modifications, and we can explain this in interview also. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions here?
No, sir. As of now.
Thank you. Thank you. So just give a confirmation to Venkat, and we are going to continue from tomorrow, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
to all. Thank you. Bye.
Sir?
Lavanya.
Sir, I have a small doubt. So, when we are increasing the volumes, do we have, do we get any changes in the physical server?
No.
Like,
In your servers, there is no changes. When you do any changes on the volume, there is a change in the only volume part.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye for all.